Hello, you lovely lord. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Genshin Impact video. And today we are here to react to the character teaser for Odette, an illusion of gentle snow. Now, this is something I'm very much looking forward to checking out. For one, obviously, more information about Odette, you know, her relations to La Signora and her identity, her dual identity, right? Obviously, as a ballerina and as a Fatui member, very much Swan Lake tones as well coming from her, it seems like as well. I think it's going to be very much exciting to see how her story goes in Snezhnaya, and it seems like she's going to be playing a little bit of an active role in the story as well, in the main Archon quest, because if you go back to the live stream that we had a couple of days ago and you see the Snezhnaya adventure journal that they gave, if I'm not mistaken, in the Archon quest picture, right, when they were showing that journal, there was Odette in there. So it seems like Odette is going to be playing a bit of a critical role, it seems like, when we progress through the Archon quest, at least in Act 1 and maybe Act 2 as well. Now, along with all of that as well, I want to also see if they give us any more information about the surroundings around her, right? When it comes to the rest of Snezhnaya, will we see more people, more individuals, more of the culture? That'll be something I'm very much looking forward to checking out as well. We're quickly approaching Snezhnaya, by the way, as well. Remember, we're only 6 days away, so we're going to be getting a lot more information. In fact, yesterday they dropped information about the weapons. Today, I think they've dropped this and the artifacts as well. So let's see what comes up in the next couple of days as well. I think maybe we might get something for Alyosha. We'll have to wait and see on that front. But right now, our focus is on Odette. So, of course, if you guys going to enjoy this video, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of good stuff. It helps me out in the algorithm, gets you notified of when I upload a video. And if you're interested in anything Genshin Impact related, it would do you a lot of good in subscribing to this channel. So I would really appreciate it. Now, let's read this tag before we go and react to the actual video. Her life unfolds like the dance of a water bird. When at last she breaks free from the frozen lake's cruel grasp, her white wings shall carry her skyward. Jesus, I struggled in reading that. It's just excitement, to be honest. It's very much just a lot of excitement towards what's to come for Snezhnaya. So anyways, let's, without further ado, check out this trailer, and I'm gonna put it up into 1080p, turn on closed captions, and I think let us get things underway.
Odette, your technique is flawless.
Oh, who's
What
this?
you need to work on is conveying feeling and emotion. Stop.
Oof.
You're hiding behind other people's emotions, Odette. Show me how you feel.
Man, she's such a pretty character, I will say, by the way. I really like... Oh! Oh!
In this land of relentless snow and never-ending...
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
What is there to feel? I feel anger, resentment, and hatred.
Oh.
Where do these feelings fit in?
Oh. Wait, is... Well... Oh, La Signora's last resting place.
Teach.
Okay, maybe the connection is far deeper than we thought. Okay. Seems like it might be that she is basically like sort of like the of La Signora, Rosalind's adopted daughter, effectively, kind of.
Let's leave it there. Does it hurt? Here, let me help.
Don't worry, Mom. I stopped feeling pain a long time ago.
Oh, I kind of got chills there at the end, low-key, you know? I kind of got some chills. No way.
Does it hurt?
That's not her mom, right? Is it her mom?
Let's leave
Wait. I need to see the model again.
Flawless.
Okay, no, she is similar. She might be her mom. But then I guess more so than I thought maybe Odette would have been an adopted child of La Signora. But more so maybe she would have been a very much... I guess a really a protege of La Signora when she is in the Fatui, of course, right? While Odette is in the Fatui, La Signora must have just taken her under her wing properly and fully, right? Unless towards the end, it's a bit confusing because I genuinely thought that, you know, with this, this is, if you guys don't remember, this was a very similar scene we saw in Winter Night's Lazo. The slow, like the snow falling heavily in the black screen. We then saw the, you know, pyro crystal fly, you could say, I suppose, or the pyro butterfly flying through, of course, right? Signifying La Signora in that situation. So it's a very similar scene, and obviously them putting that on top, I feel like that would indicate that maybe she's calling La Signora mother. But I feel like, I mean, based on how these characters look so similar and identical, I think this is Odette's mother. So Odette's mother is still around. So what that means is, I think that La Signora must be like a proper like master to Odette, basically, and Odette is La Signora's protege. So of course, you know, when you're with somebody for so long and you idolize somebody for so long, I mean, we see it here, right? And then we see obviously La Signora going to her coffin, basically, right? I think that's gonna be the place where La Signora is resting, if I'm not mistaken. If you go over here, yeah, here. So I think this is going to be La Signora's resting place, it seems like, right? It seems very similar to what we saw in Winter Night's Lazo with the ice glaciers and all that sort of stuff, you know, kind of frosting up, basically, right? And then the background looks very similar to what we saw in the trailer. Of course, it looks a little bit like it's tilted and destroyed compared to what we saw in the Winter Night's Lazo trailer or teaser, where it was fully structurally sound. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much her connection is to La Signora, especially, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Fatui would have mentioned to everybody in the Fatui that, you know, we were involved with the death of La Signora. So it kind of begs the question of how she'd be so accepting of us being in her life in that sort of situation. Maybe she's one of those people who would be like more accepting because it's, you know, it's part of the job, it's done is done. But I'd like to see a little bit maybe more emotion towards a later stage of like, there's still that level of resentment, that sort of anger. We hear it actually in this as well, right? If we let it play and it actually talks about it, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's somewhere here, I think they mention it. Or was it a little bit before? I think it was here or later. Let's wait and let it play. I think it's before. Yeah. What is there to feel? I feel anger, and then resentment and hate. So clearly there is a little bit of that for sure when it comes to Odette. And I feel like I do hope that they do represent it in a good manner when it comes into our relation as a traveler with Odette as well, right? I really hope that's the case. I really like her character design, and I really like the approach that they're taking with her story, right, as well, because a lot of people I've been seeing some people complain about, you know, Genshin has been doing this theme of duality for far too long. It's a super used trope in Genshin Impact, and I will agree. I mean, you look at the likes of the Traveler and the Sibling, Raiden and, you know, Raiden Shogun and Raiden A, technically, right? The robot and the main Archon, of course. Nahida, Rukadevta, that duality right there. Furina, Forsolors, again, recently with Sandrone and her emotional side, right? But what I feel they've done really well on is each individual duality trope has been approached differently. And I think that's the most important thing. I feel like people are just ignoring a little bit, to be honest, when they say that, oh, it's been used so much. Look at how it's been used, right? Look at the way it's been used. Has it been used in a way where it's the same thing again and again and they're rehashing the story? No, it's not that. They're doing it in different ways. You could say that, okay, the overall premise is a little bit overused. Absolutely fair enough. I kind of agree with that. You can see them using the whole dual identities, dual approach, basically, when it comes to certain characters. But I feel like the way they've used it has always felt fresh, and it's always felt a little bit different. And I think it's going to be the same here, right? You're going to have a more of an open Odette when it comes to the ballerina side. Maybe an open Odette, you could say. And then you have the Fatui side, which is the more darker, but maybe her more real side, you could say, right? That's going to be something that we're going to have to see on how it plays and how they develop it, to be honest. I think that's going to be very fascinating, and I'm actually very curious to see how it all pans out. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, of course, about Odette so far, based on what we've seen in the live stream and what we've seen here in this character teaser. We will probably get actually one more trailer, I think, right? A demo, if I'm not mistaken, for Odette. So that'll give us some more information as well. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.